everyone, welcome back to another lesson. So, in the last lesson, we talked about why use arrays, and we were able to show that when you have, let's say, thousands or hundreds of data collection to work with, it becomes increasingly difficult assigning each to, its own variable. Or let's say you want to get a specific uh, part or a specific element out of your collection. Array makes it very easy to be able to access it and retrieve such information or such uh, part of the element for use or for whatever purpose that is needed for. And it's also, we're able to see that it's just a common practice to declare array with const keyword. So it is not that it is a kind of hard rule or bent rule that must be strictly followed, but for the fact that it allows your declarations of arrays element to be safe, since you don't always change a variable, although the values or whatever it is or element can change, but the declaration for the array itself doesn't change. So it's a common practice where you see const being used for array declaration. And also there are some things that we also talked about, such as the fact that spaces and line breaks are not important, which means that your array can span multiple lines. It will not affect the results, neither will it affect the array itself. For things like eligibility, for legibility or elegancy of your code. So it is a practice that you might see people doing, such as splitting the element of an array on its own line for readability and for making the code look neat. So that kind of spaces and line break, they are not important, as it does not affect the array itself. And also, we're able to see that an empty array can be created, and then the element to go inside that array can be provided later using the indexed property of an array to add elements into such empty array. So this was the concept of what we talked about in the previous lesson. And in this lesson, we are quickly going to just take a look at using the JavaScript keyword new. So, when you are creating your array, when you create an array, you can create an array with the array literal method, which is simply by doing something like this, car. This is your array, and then inside this, just put what you want to add. So something like this. So this is an array literal that allows you to, create your array without any, excesses or without any discrepancies, and allows you to get your results easily. But the JavaScript keyword new can also be used when creating an array. For example, it looks like this when you want to make use of that new keyword. So the new keyword is something like this. So I'll take this out. And so let's say we want to still create a car as an example of you know of the array. So we do it this way: new array. Then I can assign element to it. And let's take a look. You will see that nothing changes in the output, but what has changed is the way through which I am declaring the arrays itself. So you can see that I'm using this new keyword coupled with the array, and then passing in the elements, and then I am outputting it here, as you can see right here in the output that is being produced on my screen. So this is what the new keyword is all about in array. So there is no need to use the new array, because if you actually look at these two ways of creating array, the array literal method that is very straightforward and simple, and using the new array, it's obvious that, because it's obvious that for as long as none of them affect the output of such array. There's actually no need to be alternating syntax. So there's no need to be alternating syntax to say, okay, you want to use new array in some places and you want to use the array literal method in some places. So for simplicity, readability, and then execution speed, always use the array literal method, because the use of the new array method and the array literal method achieve the same thing and work the same way to output results. So for simplicity, readability, and execution speed, use the array literal method, which is what we have been using since we start talking about this topic. And the array literal method is just by assigning elements to your array directly like this. You can see what I have here. Yeah. So this is an array literal method. You can see that the new array method has been taken out of this. I'm just assigning the element to my array and outputting it directly on the screen. So the use of the new array keyword and the array literal method works the same. It doesn't have any effect on the output of whatever it is that you're trying to put into your array. But it's recommended to make use of the array literal method, which is what you can see right here for readability, for simplicity, and execution speed. So this is recommended when it comes to working with arrays and declaring array. So this is all about what you just need to know about the JavaScript keyword name when it comes to working with arrays, declaration, and other aspects of working with array, and to let you know that the use of the new array method has no effect on the output of the array. So both the new array method and the array literal method works the same as as both of them does not have any effect on the output of your array. So this is where we'll be stopping this lesson, and in the next lesson I'll see you as we continue to talk about some other important part of JavaScript array. I just quickly show us that the new array method and the normal way, which is the array literal method of declaring array, they actually do the same thing. So there's no need to use the new array, because JavaScript already knows when you pass element directly to an array to interpret it as an array. And so always follow what makes your code simple, readable, and what also helps in execution. That is all that matters when writing code or when working on a project. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one.